Yo, what is up, rap family? I'm back and I got a super dope interview with the producer Nate OG from Detroit. Woo!
This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
Nate's a great producer, one of the best in the industry. He's very wise, and he's got a lot of great stuff to say in this interview.
And you know this, man!
I was very pleased to have him on the show today. It was truly an honor. Alright, in order to start right away, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love to have you on the team, and I'm always making new content. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Welcome everybody, you're watching The Honor Show, and we're lucky enough to be sitting here with Nate OG Detroit. How you doing today, man?
Doing very well, brother. How about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Glad to have you on here, man. Let's jump right into it. Tell us about how you got the name Nate OG.
My real name is Nathaniel Oglesby. So you take the abbreviated of Nathaniel and the first two letters of the last name.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. No doubt.
Yes, that works. It ain't nobody. Hey, can't nobody tell you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not nothing made up. So
right.
And also the place where I used to get my drum kits from because I produce music. I was going by N Oglesby Beats, like the first initial of my first name, my last name, my government. He's like, nah, man, you gotta come up with a real name. And he gave me the name Nate OG. And then I was like, yeah, that might work. And then the Detroit part came because when I was searched like blogs to see if any projects had been posted, a million Nate OGs will pop up from all over. You know what I mean? So I put Detroit on the back of it to kind of like separate myself with the exclamation point.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Detroit kind of separates itself, up and above the rest anyway. So to have Detroit tagged on the name is always a good thing, I think. So.
Oh, yeah, man. No doubt.
Absolutely. Tell us about what it was like growing up. What did you do as a kid and stuff?
Man, just hang out with friends, go to school, play sports, like, pick up games of basketball because I was like one of the only people in my neighborhood with a basketball hoop in the back. I had like the whole neighborhood down there.
Yeah.
Video games, I had a whole neighborhood. I was the first on the block with all the new video games.
Yeah.
Had the whole neighborhood down in my house when I was like a young kid. So yeah, cookouts, that type of thing, man. Just really a normal childhood, just like any other urban environment or any city environment, I would say.
Right. Nice. Sounds like you had a good time. That's pretty cool. Who were
oh yeah.
Nice. Especially like, the cookout stuff like that. I love that type of stuff. I love, social gatherings and people just having a good time together without it being a bunch of crazy negative stuff,
Yeah, like my dad was a big barbecuer. So like my birthday is on July 3rd. So when I was a kid, I thought my birthday was the 4th because that's when we would cook out and have our party, right?
Right.
So we had like one of those back then. This is like the 80s. So we had like one of those park type of style round barbecue pits.
Yeah.
Like with they like cast iron almost. We had that right on our front porch. That's before everybody the police got real touchy about, oh, you can't have barbecue pits too close to your house and all that, and citations.
Right.
Yeah, well, every 4th of July, my dad will hit the meat market, Paquette Meat Market on Schaefer and 6 Mile, and buy ribs and hot dogs. We just cook out and celebrate my holiday and the birthday at the same time.
Yes. Man, that's dope. That's awesome. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Who were your role models? Who'd you look up to?
My parents are a great impact. Some people from other interviews might know this, but I lost both my parents when I was 18. So I turned 18 July 98. Yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. So I turned 18 July 1998. My mother passed October 98, and my dad passed December 98.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would say as far as growing up and the person I became in their absence, I would say they've been a great impact on me. But if you're looking at like musically, I gotta shout out DJ Butter, who you had on your show.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, first and foremost, nobody would even know who I was, even on a small scale that I'm on in the hip hop community. Because when I would send him beats before I even met him. and he was like, "Man, you dope beyond dope. You just need to get with some artists."
Yes.
Then I had the pleasure of meeting him back in 2013 at one of the Dilla Day Detroit, which used to be before they changed it to Detroit events at the Fillmore. And then ever since then, we've been cool. And whenever I come to town, if he was in town, he'll come through and hang out. If I have physical projects, like I do beat tapes on cassettes from time to time, limited editions, I would give him a copy. He would like take a pic with me to promote it. And then anything he ever had going, I always promote it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was always like, you got to build proper relationships with people in the industry. Not that I'm in the mainstream industry, because I'm kind of rebel against that, but even in just working relationships or personal relationships, you know what I mean? You got to treat people right. If people's on the up and up with you, you got to do the same and pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then next, I would say another integral part of my growth has been my manager, La Peace, legendary Detroit MC. I feel like he don't get his proper flowers, but he's worked with Fat Cat. If you remember the Carte Blanche Deluxe Edition, he was on that. He does stuff with Jay Dilla, Slum Village. He's doing his own thing. He's my manager. Like I moved from Detroit back in '99 to, I'm gonna just say, the Grand Rapids area.
Okay.
Grand Rapids, Michigan is where Apollo Brown and Bronze Nazareth are from before they moved to Detroit. Okay. You know what I mean? So since I wasn't living in Detroit no more, I needed a representative. So I made that move about 3 years ago. And then he grew up and knows everybody I'm trying to work with back home. So it's like, it's kind of weird the way that happened, but you know what I mean? But yeah, I had a lot of mentors. Like, them are the top two. I got to shout out my man Merch Music, another production mentor, Troy Davis, the Davis Way. He teaching me a lot about the business side of things. Him and his wife is an author. They have a company called Architect Entertainment. Okay. Dope Beyond Dope independent label that has distribution. DJ Dez, Nick Speed, another one of my mentors. Kodak and Maybe, I'm signed in-house producer to him. He's a rapper, but he owns his own label. Make sure I don't forget nobody. But yeah, I'm just blame it on the head, not the heart, y'all. So if I miss somebody, but yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Who do you remember that was the first rapper that you really thought was a superstar, that really got your attention, or producer? Either one.
First producer, I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it to Dilla, actually. Like when I discovered Dilla, and I was technically already listening to Dilla before I made a distinction that he was producing all the records I grew up with, because I was already going to the mom and pop spot and buying Slum Village, Fantastic One, Fantastic Two, and then his production with Erykah Badu, Black Star, you name it, Busta Rhymes. Yeah. And then as far as rapper, I think like my first introduction was like Run DMC.
Yes.
Like that's how I'm born in 1980, so I was on the cusp of all of that.
Right.
Because the hip hop initially started in the late 70s, you know what I mean, before it became and took over what it is today. But yeah, that's the two. That was my proper introduction to, Dilla made me feel like, hey, maybe I could do this music thing, as far as, not knowing the rules, but then setting your own rules and breaking those. You know what I mean? So.
Hell yeah. That's dope. But those are some awesome people to have listened to and been like, yes, and been inspired by. I was born in 82 myself, so I was right there kind of at the cusp too, just a couple years behind you. But man, I remember I was 6 years old when I first got the Easy Does It tape. An older kid on the bus gave it to me, and I lost my mind.
Right.
I loved it.
The first hip hop tape I ever bought was High C Scandalous.
Yes.
High C was affiliated with DJ Quick, and what I mean? But yeah, that was actually the first cassette I bought. Yes. So yeah. My own money.
I love that. I love hearing these origin stories.
Yeah.
When you at what age did you start making music?
I found my gift late. I was like 28. My first love has always been poetry. I've always done that, wrote to myself, and been posted to a few blogs and websites and stuff like that. But I was 28, you know what I mean? And it was all because I had a cousin that rapped from Wisconsin. And I was talking to my aunts, because I was living with my aunts at the time. I was like, Aunt Linda, I think about buying some equipment and trying to get something popping with Tyler. That's my cousin. Shout out Tyler Northern. So, I was working part-time at McDonald's and selling my little, because I DJ'd, I'm a no-voice DJ, like I don't scratch and mix, but I play, and I used to make mixtapes off of a dual cassette deck.
Yes.
So I'd make them and sell them, you know what I mean, for like $10 a pop, and then sell them on my lunch break to get my MPC. So it took 4 months of that. And I got my Kai MPC 1000 December 7th, 2007.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been mostly self-taught, until later people kind of pops me up along the way. But yeah, that's kind of where that happened from.
Okay, nice. Oh yeah, I like those MPC machines. I always wanted to learn how to make beats and do stuff. I just never really got the chance to get my hands in it, but I still want to try sometime. And sometime in life, when I start making some real money, I'm gonna get some of the shit I've always wanted to do and just try.
Yeah, man. If you look around, check like American Musical. Hope I'm pronouncing this right. Z-Sound. They have like payment plans and stuff like that. You have to pay like an initial payment for them to send it, and then you can pay monthly on it. So some of the equipment, that's how I got some of my equipment.
Hell yeah. Thanks, brother. I wrote that down. I'm gonna
anytime.
check the American Musical and shit, because I would like to try a lot. I feel like I could get a lot out of my soul just doing little things like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So
exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. Is like, if you're passionate about music and listening to music and being a fan, I think it's only natural, especially if you ever DJ, it's only natural for you to want to eventually make your own, test the waters and make your own.
Yes. Hell yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the encouragement, brother. Wait, where did I go here? Oh, do you rap also?
Nah, I write poetry. Nah, I don't rap.
Okay.
I could write rhymes and stanzas and all that, but the vocals and delivery, I don't feel comfortable with that. So I would stick to writing poetry, man.
Sure, no problem. Hey, I actually write poetry too, but that's the reason I don't. I could never. I don't know how to keep a beat, and like nobody's ever really done it. So I write little poetry and stuff. But the reason I asked, I thought I heard you on a couple of the beats I was listening to on your YouTube and stuff. I wasn't sure, so. But
no, I think you might have saw some of the beat making videos, maybe. But no, I haven't put none of that with me speaking on it though.
Okay.
Nah.
Alrighty.
Yep.
What do you love most about hip hop?
Well, to be honest with you, from the time I started, I would say until the late 90s, it was all about the freedom, because it gave us a voice to communicate what's going on in our lives and the message behind it. Back in those times, not only did every region have its own sound, like East, West, Midwest, and South, but we had a balance. We had your conscious, socially conscious, and socially aware music. We had your party stuff. We had your gangster stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now it's just like one lane. It's like It's like it elevated from trap music, and now drill is the thing.
Right.
And I don't knock either one of those, but I didn't have to live that lifestyle.
Right.
I respect it to a degree, but you know what I mean? I don't speak on no politics outside of where I come from.
Right.
But to me, it's just like we need more diversity. We need more balance.
Yes.
And I think if we can get back to that,
yeah.
A lot of these prisons wouldn't be filled with all these people. And, everything will be, a lot better off in our communities in general.
Yes. Man, I like what you said there. That is so true. Like, because then people would just be being themselves instead of all trying to be one thing and copy one thing. It's like, do your own thing and make something new. And it could be something bad as fuck, but nobody's ever going to know because you're all doing one thing.
Yeah, I remember an interview that G-Unit, well, I guess it was 50 Cent, Tony Yayo, Young Buck, and 50 Cent. They did an interview on Snoop's channel for that GGN, and I heard a producer use this little part, DiBiase, one of my favorite lo-fi producers, and it was saying how, you know what, Snoop said, if you could be you, you'll win because who else could be you but you?
Yes.
And Young Buck was like, yeah, because right now all you need is a hot record and a cold hashtag and you own. But the Snoop part was really because he was like, yeah, they had me in the studio trying to do that Migos stuff, and I'm like, turn that off. I don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. Man, I like hearing that stuff. I like hearing there's still original motherfuckers and people that even like Snoop that just ain't gonna sell out. Like, no, I don't do that kind of rap. I do me.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Yep. And I know you're that way too. Because I've talked to you a little bit before coming on to like, you don't like, and I've come to know you're a very wise person. Like you don't go to the clubs, right?
Nah, man, I'm 40 out, 42, I'll be 43 in July. I have yet to go into a club, whether it's nightclub or
Yeah.
the grown up adult clubs. You know, I don't do that, man. Like where I come from, I was a kid watching the news, and every weekend, people getting hurt up in them clubs and some losing their lives. So I was like, yeah, that ain't for me. I like living too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. You know, there's an old proverb or a saying that says, uh, uh, somebody who is not like what did it say? Somebody who's not wise learns from their own mistakes. Somebody who's wise learns from others' mistakes. And you,
Yep,
like you said, you saw things
exactly.
on the news and you said, I ain't doing that. I ain't getting involved in all that. That's
Yeah, man. Yeah, like just like people look at me weird because or square, even though I'm probably like the hooded square you could know, but like I never drink, I never smoke or any of that. You know what I mean? I like to be on point alert. I like being sober. I could have be laughing at the party while being sober.
hell yeah,
You know what I mean?
hell
And
yeah.
besides, once a lot of stuff pops off in the streets when people are impaired. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? When they're that's how people fall victims. So I
right.
learned early at a young age like what not to do, where not
Yes,
to go.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yes. I'm gonna have my
survival
son
skills.
listen
So
to this once we're done. I'm gonna have my son listen to this because, like, more people should think like that. And if they did, this shit wouldn't be going on. Like, and it would have saved me a lot of trouble had I not gone out and done a lot of those things. Like, I regret a lot of it. I wish I could go back and not do it, but you can't now. And
yeah,
but so I
yeah,
would never
man.
look at you as somebody that's square or anything like that for not going out and partying like that. If and like I like exactly what you said. You said you like being sober. You can be the life of the party just being sober, and that's cool. If that's you and that's what you like, that's cool. I'm down with that.
Yep.
And you know what? It
Yeah, I
takes
got a story
guts,
about that too.
right? Right. And you know what? It takes guts to say I'm not gonna just go with the flow and be like everybody. I know what I want. I know what I like, and I know what I want to be. And
Yeah.
this ain't it. Like no matter who else is doing it. So much props, brother. Much
Right.
props. Big
Yeah.
time.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Blessings,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember one time I was at a venue, um, and I was doing a beat set, my first ever beat set. So I'm already nervous,
Right.
and I did the beat set. And, somebody started chiefing. So my homegirl, she knew I wasn't on that. She was like, "Yo, Nate, you might want to go outside because they about to start." So I did exactly that. When they started that, I did my beat set and got up out of there, went outside, called me a cab, and went on back to my hotel. And I was just like, "Hey."
Right. I don't blame you. I don't blame you,
hmm
man. And you know what? Like I said, it takes guts to just to for anybody to do their own thing and to say, I just want to do what I want to do. That's hard nowadays. So
Yeah,
big props to you.
yeah.
Did you always want to make rap, or have you ever tried dabbling in other genres at all?
No, it was always hip hop, like I said. But the initial interest in music came from my dad. He was a bass guitar player and had a
Oh,
small band. The band and stuff was before I was born,
mhm.
but I discovered that he actually did music as far as watching him play. My mother, R.I.P., she threw him a surprise birthday party one year and invited my dad's side of the family, which is where I'm at, invited all of them to come from where I'm at to Detroit. So him and my uncle Emery, who was in their band together, they played their guitars.
Yes,
And seeing how the energy would change in the room and the moves of everybody,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That's when I initially became interested in music.
yes,
My dad never got his shot. My dad never got his shot. He ran with the multi artists and knew all them because he was an entrepreneur. He had his own store
yeah,
during the 70s before I was born, before the riots, well, the 60s before the riots.
right,
But he never got his shot. You know what I mean? So on the one hand, it's kind of weird, like a catch-22. It's like I wonder would he be happy that I'm doing music, but I think the fact that I'm approaching it as a hobby, not as the main thing, I think he would be proud because I am sticking to something and showing discipline and
yes,
doing it that way.
yes. That's dope. I like your approach to that. And you know what? It's hard to have discipline and to do things the right way. So much props, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, what this is kind of a well, no, not really. What do you hope to leave behind in hip hop as a legacy later on?
Well, the main thing I want to do is I'm not in it for the money or the fame, more or less the respect. You know what I mean? As a producer, musician,
Yes.
because I do play drums. I do play drums too, somewhat. I have about 6 to 7 years off and on.
Nice.
But the main thing is, I just want to inspire other people to find their light, as I call it a light, but it's really like your talent or your gift. I
Yeah.
believe all human beings have some sort of
Yes.
artistic gift as well as spiritual gift.
Yes.
Some of us might let the outside world talk us out of discovering that gift because maybe they failed, they tried and failed. And also, to be a person that never took no for an answer and never gave up on, his approach in life. You know what I mean? Like last summer, I had to have half my kidney removed because they found a mass on it.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And that was like a wonderful guy to tell me, kind of take it easy and try to get right. So God spared my life from that. So I just want my life to be an instrument of like instilling hope in people. That's the reason why I do music, to promote healing amongst us. There's so many different variables to separate us. You know what I mean? But music brings us together. It crosses ethnicity, culture, tradition. And like I had this slogan, like they can use whatever tools they want to separate us, but a head nod is universal.
Yes.
If you think about it, you know what I mean?
Yes. I love that. Yes. I never heard that before. That's one of the coolest things I ever heard. Yeah, they could take whatever, but they can't take that from nobody. Yes.
Yep, exactly.
It's like you can't kill an idea. It's
exactly.
It's there. Hell yeah. What would be a dream feature for you? Like if you could get anybody in the industry to come on a couple of tracks.
Let's see.
Or like to produce for anybody.
I'm gonna say Elzai, Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do 3. I'm limited to 3 because I'll be here all day. Busta Rhymes, and probably Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I actually kind of my boy Duke Lil Rock, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he's kind of affiliated with them a little bit.
Okay.
As far as you know what I mean. So I'm co-producing his debut album with DJ Butter.
Nice.
I believe the working title is "Please Listen to My Demo." Him and DJ Butter are knocking out a couple mixtapes before, but I think that collab will eventually happen because like whenever anybody he knows comes to town, he always tries to get him to come to the studio. And he always plays my beats for him. So it's another avenue I got there. He's working. You know what I mean? Because he's actually DJ Butter's A&R for Crazy Noise.
Oh, nice.
And he's also artist on the label.
Okay. Yep. Nice. Hey, man, those are some good people to have in your corner. Shout out to DJ Butter and all them guys. Like, DJ Butter, actually, like that, he is my most favorite DJ of all time and one of my top 3 favorite producers ever. Like, hell yeah.
He's a beast, man. Like, he's the best, man. That's the homie from day one for life, man.
Yes. It's good shit. Good stuff. Let's hear. Who are your some of your biggest musical influences?
Like I said, my father.
Oh yeah.
Say Jay Dilla.
Yep.
Black Milk, Apollo Brown.
Yes.
14 KT, Nick Speed.
Yes.
Pete Rock, DJ Premier. Crisis, Nice Wonder, High Tech, Knots, Lord Finesse, Diamond D, Buck Wild. I'm gonna throw Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Barry White too, because he produces too. So Stevie Wonder, Prince, of course Tupac, because he's like my number 1 favorite rapper of all time. So that's another person besides my dad that I pattern my work ethic behind. That's why I can release stuff so diverse and as far as releases, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that'll be a gist of them though.
Hell yeah. Yes. That's dope. What would you say would be the main message behind your music?
Man, just that we all a part of way before this. I'm gonna put it like this: when God created all of us human beings, we're spiritual beings first, then we come into human form.
Yes.
We were all created as one race, the human race.
Yes.
Over time, there's been variables and things that really drive a divide between us, whether it was socioeconomic, education, different cultural beliefs and traditions, things like that. It's really a thing of unity. Like I'm not on no stuff like just 'cause I have pride in myself and my people. I'm not. I love and respect all people. That's how my parents raised me. Respect all cultures, respect all differences, all ethnicities, everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just all about unity, peace, and love. And harmony.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's all. That's all I try to promote. Is to bring us together instead of trying to separate us.
Yes.
Because there's enough of that. That's going on an everyday basis. If you watch the news, you see all this crazy stuff that's happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to do.
Yes.
I'm just God's instrument, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Yes. I love that. Some positivity, because, like you said, there's enough of that going on, and you know what? It makes people weak and keeps other people in control when they can keep us all apart and separate us instead of us all coming together.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, you get it. I know you get it totally.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, I get it, man. I totally understand, man.
Hell yeah. What are some of your favorite albums of all time?
I'm gonna say, of course, I'm gonna say the whole Slum Village catalog.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna say especially Donut. I'm gonna say Black Milk Popular Demand, Dr. Dre the Chronic, Pac the Strictly album.
Yes.
And All Eyes on Me and the Machiavelli album.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of some more because let's see. Mad Lib's Beat Conductor series.
Yeah.
Pete Rock, I see our Smooth's whole catalog and like Pete Rock's instrumental projects that he's been doing.
Yeah.
Gangstar Hard to Earn.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm gonna lose some, but yeah, that's about the. I could go on and go on, but I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all good, man. That was perfect. That's perfect. I mean, when you think about it, we could talk a long time about some good albums over the decades and shit, but yeah, no, that was perfect. And I'll have you on the show other times too. We'll have you on here again, and we'll talk about
sounds good
other albums and shit too. So,
yeah. I'll throw Snoop Dogg Doggy Style in there too. I got to. So yeah.
Yes. Hell yeah. Definitely. Have you? I know you talked about having to have that surgery. With your kidney. Was that kind of like a near-death experience, or have you ever had a near-death experience?
That was like the closest awakening I had. Like I had a couple calls, but nothing that serious. Like a lot of them happened when I was younger, like a kid, because I used to have seizures and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I grew out of it. Thank you God for that. Thank you God for getting me through that surgery, because that was like my aunt told me, like that was like almost a 7-hour surgery. It was only supposed to be 6 hours.
Wow.
The only thing I remember is them putting me under and me waking up. That's the only two things I remember. And then I had 6 weeks of recovery. I had to come home and be in a hospital bed for 6 weeks.
Wow.
I couldn't go upstairs to my room. I couldn't go downstairs. I couldn't do any stairs. So I had to have one of my roommates do my laundry and stuff for me. So
wow.
That was like 6 weeks. All I did 6 weeks, I was still able to like go grocery shopping, but I couldn't lift over 10 pounds, and so I had to like limit. You know what I mean? But I was, but God blessed me, man. So that just reaffirms that that God got me here for a reason. I'm just trying to fulfill my purpose, and do my best to help people in this life. Wow. You know what I mean? Try to instill hope and motivation in some of these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm no way in no form a preacher, but I always got the gift of speaking life into people when they're going through something. You know what I mean? I always take it upon myself to speak life into them.
Absolutely. And that's awesome. Like I feel like there's almost nothing better you could do as a human than, like I said, speaking light into someone else, encourage, building them up in some way. And you got a story, man. You got a story. Some people don't know about masks and stuff until it's too late, or a surgery doesn't go right, or whatever the case may be. You really got a story to tell, brother. And thank God.
Exactly.
God, and I believe all that. I'm a firm believer in the word and everything. And God did some things in your life. So, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Let's hear. Now you, what would you like to say to young people coming up?
I'm just gonna say to the youth, it's okay to not follow who you perceive as your leaders,
Yeah.
whether it be celebrities or your people in your circle, your so-called friends or whatever. Um, be authentically you. You were all born with your free will and your freedom to think,
Yes.
and use your common sense and logic. You know, my parents told me at a young age, son, you're gonna have a rough life because just like us, you utilize your common sense and logic. So expect to, either rub people the wrong way, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Be authentically you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you can only follow a trend for so long.
Yes.
There's a lot of cookie cutter stuff going on in society.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to insta fame. Everybody wants to be insta famous.
Right.
Nobody wants to put the work and the legwork and the labor and the blood, the sweat and tears to get what they want out of life. They want everything overnight.
Right.
But them people that you think got that overnight would actually tell you if they can go back, they would do things a lot differently.
Yep.
Ask anybody that's actually living a street life.
Yep.
If they could do one thing, they would say, "I wish I would have went to school.
Yeah.
I wish I would have went to college. I wish I would have, stayed away from this." You know what I mean? And there's always a way out. There's always a choice.
Yes.
Jay Prince said this, and I know Jay Prince was in hot water over this takeoff situation, and then the Duke Julius situation with Boosie and all that. But I'm not talking about the gangster part of it. He said, "Every day we wake up, we have a chance and a choice," and that's so real. And that's the way I look at it too. You know what I mean? There's always a way out.
Yeah.
When in doubt, pray.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't be scared to seek knowledge. You know, society has you think that that's all about the material wealth.
Right.
Your real wealth is your knowledge, your intellect, and your health.
Yes.
The 1% of billionaires that control the infrastructure of the world. When you're on that life support and you about to take a last breath, that money ain't buying them out that funeral.
Nope.
You know, the Brinks truck take care of money. You know, you can't take money to the graveyard with you.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So be your best to be a good person and treat people how you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
You know, respect others. You know what I mean? And don't look down on no one. You know what I mean? If you're doing a little bit, if you're blessed enough to have a 9 to 5, a house over your head, food in your stomach, your kids taken care of, even if you're a single parent.
Right.
Don't look down on your next door neighbor that might be a single parent.
Right.
You know, might be on Section 8 and welfare.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, that's like to keep it up with the Joneses, as I call it. You know, my neighbor got a 600 Benz, so I'm gonna go in debt. You know what I mean, and get a Maybach. You know, right, and you know that gotta stop too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not a materialistic person. I don't chase material possessions. I use money as a tool to get the necessities and services I need. It doesn't run me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. That's awesome. I like that. Those are some really wise words, and I'm glad that we're putting this on the show and that it's going to be out there, because people, and not even just kids, there's a lot of grown-ups that weren't really raised that need to hear this shit too, and you know, I need to hear a lot of this sometimes, or just hearing, you know, there's always a way out. There's always something positive you can do, even in a negative situation. I try to be positive and encourage people too, but there's times where I get a lot of anxiety and get down, and I need to hear words like this. So thank you for that, brother.
Yeah.
What would you change if you could change any one thing about the world? I know that's a kind of a loaded question because there's lots of things, but if you could just change something about the world, what would it be?
One thing, I'm gonna go with racism.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm gonna go with. Yep.
Yes. Fuck, I love it.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
That's what I would go with too. I hate racism, and I obviously haven't had to deal with it like other people have, but I've had to deal with it because my kid's mixed, and my baby mom, when she was alive, she was black, and there was people on both sides that didn't like us being together, and I'd get looks, or people would say something, or I'd even remarks from certain family members about my own kid, and I'm like, that's your family, man. I won't talk to them then.
Yeah, man, and sincere condolences on your your baby's mother too, man. Your wife and all that. Sincerest condolences on that too, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Prayers to you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. You're probably old. Yeah, because you were born just a couple years before me. So you were just being born as Reagan was starting to take over and wreck everything. Did you notice, when you were littler, like, a lot of the neighborhoods were a lot nicer and they really went to hell during the whole Reagan episode?
Yep. Mm-hmm. The conscious scandal and all that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
See, and I like to bring that stuff to light too, because as a kid, they always say, "Oh, Reagan was this good president, this, that." No, all this shit started going right. Yeah, Reaganomics. It wrecked everything, and it's a war on drugs and all this stuff. All it was a war on people of color and people of low economic structure. That's all it was.
Exactly.
And it's like, how the hell are you going to have a war on your own citizens? And of all of the citizens, you're going to, go after the poor ones or the people of ethnicity. Like, what? I don't get that.
Yep.
That's
terrible. And the reason why a crack era happened was because of Reagan and that Contra scandal. If you look into that, that's how that stuff made it over here.
Yeah, the Contras and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They CIA all of them.
Yep. Pretty much.
And it's actually sick, and then they go and make the whole, make the whole crack, sentencing 100 to 1, with the laws and shit. And then you got, politicians up there screaming for all these years and people doing life over a couple of rocks. And it's like a couple $100, $20, $30, a couple $100, life.
Yep, exactly.
Wow. This, I'm sure you know this, because you seem like a lot of, facts and stuff like that. Like this country has more people incarcerated than any other country in the effing world. It's crazy.
Yep, that's true.
Land in the free, but we lock up everybody.
Yep.
Man, that's a sad state of affairs. But on a positive note, we're gonna get through it. We always do. Like you said, pray. I always recommend people pray. And a lot of times I hear people say, "Well, I guess all I can do is pray." Don't say that. That's the best thing you can do, because you're asking the creator of all existence to help with something like that. To me, that's the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Is that.
Exactly.
So, heck yeah. Is there anything you'd like to add to our discussion today?
Man, I just want to thank you for the opportunity, man, and shout out to your channel. I've been plugging your channel. Trying to get people to check out your YouTube and your IG, and I'm looking forward to the next interview whenever that is, and I'll be checking out any new uploads. You know what I mean? And thanks for continuing support, man. You got a brother for life over here. I got your back.
Hell yeah, same here, brother. Always, all day, forever. You always got a brother over here, and hit me up anytime, and
thanks, man.
Always got a spot on the show.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on here, man, and it was truly an honor to have you on the Honor Show.
And I'm honored to be on the Honor Show, man.
Thanks, brother. You have a good day, and God bless you.
All right. God bless you as well, my friend.
Thank you.
Woo! Yes, that was great. Thank you, Nate. You're one hell of a great producer, and you were a total blessing to have on the show. You had a lot of wise words to say, and I had a great time talking to you. Can't wait to have you on the show again.
You were cold as ice.
Down in the description, I'm going to put his YouTube and Instagram information so you guys can go find him on there. And now, you guys can actually help me out.
You gotta help me.
Hey, all you gotta do is hit that like button. And so you never miss any future episodes, hit that subscribe button along with that little notification bell.